Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you for clicking on my video again today to see what it is I have to say. For those of you new to my channel, I encourage you to subscribe soon because this is the channel where we definitely put a lot of work in when it comes to coaching and giving tips to writers, whether you're a poet, an author, a blogger, right? We definitely like to keep you encouraged because your work does matter. Can we agree? Writers matter. We see hashtag everything else that matters in the world today. But what about our writers? I still consider them very essential workers. We've even been talking to them on our separate podcast show. I am going to leave the link to the Crown Content Publications podcast show because it's been on fire lately. Just getting more authors connected, giving them the opportunity to promote and market their books and what it is that they have to say, right? A lot of us, we save our voice. We sit on our voice and we use our voice another way. Y'all hear me, writers? Yay! Don't worry. Somebody sees you. We use our voice by writing those scripts, by writing those books. Writing those medical books for you medical writers, right? Because we don't get to stand by you in the hospital and the clinics every day to get to know the one-on-one, updates and tips and about our health and about what you have witnessed and what you've seen. This sometimes bring about what you call authors, okay? Somebody took the time to sit there and write a whole manuscript about their experience. So we just want to show more support to the authors out there. The Crown Content Publications podcast show is not just reserved for authors, though. Did you know that? If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm author, podcaster, Teddy Sherry Whitney. If you're interested in checking out some of my early publications, unedited draft version of books, check me out on Amazon Kindle, Arthur Teddy Sherry. There's a book an ebook I recently did called The Power of No, which is more going to fit into the segment I'm about to do when we get to talking about toxic culture traits, okay? But The Power of No you can find. God Save the Queen is my version of just a story idea I came up with. I was trying to test my limits. God Save the Queen came out in 2020, y'all. I didn't even know it was still, I thought I had unpublished it on that platform, but you can still purchase a hard copy if you like to see my skills as a, imagination guru, putting my own skills to the test. It was written to kind of more shed light on what sex trafficking is, what girls may be going through. But this book, God Save the Queen, is about a young girl who was caught up into the ring. She was sold off by her mother. I'm not going to tell y'all too much, but she ends up escaping. And if that's not enough, because not a lot of them escape and get out of those type of situations once they're in them, but not only does she escape, she ends up finding out some very powerful details about her lineage, and she ends up living a whole nother life. So it's called God Save the Queen Series 1, but there's going to be more series to come because I think where I left it off at, she had just escaped. Like, I didn't get into her finding her lineage and everything, but that's how that series is going to go. Then I have a poetry collection on Amazon if you guys want to check it out, titled Black Blood, just pretty much the Black Americans' opinion on what it was like in the past 3 years, right? To live here, to see so many, just random black people be gunned down for innocent. Whether it was innocent or just, unlawful, we saw it. And sometimes on the media, right? People like George Floyd. Actually, probably about 3 weeks after the George Floyd incident, I did go and write Black Blood. If you want to check out my skills a little bit as a poet, but I definitely have more publications coming soon just from myself. In the meantime, I'm on a mission. Crown Content Publications is on a mission to interview and get a full scoop on other self-published authors and what they've been doing, helping them to promote their work, helping them to stay motivated and inspired during the after effects of a pandemic. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to leave the link in the comments so you guys can go check me out on Spotify and everything, and some of the other authors and entrepreneurs we've been interviewing, because that's another part of our mission, to keep the power of business networking alive. I'm probably talking business talk to entrepreneurs, they feel me, but yeah, it's going to be important that you constantly market and promote your work, because as an entrepreneur, there's no big company doing this for you. There's, companies, they advertise themselves. They just hire you to keep that business going. But once you start your own business, all of that is going to be in your hands. All of that is going to be your responsibility. And we feel it. We feel that for the entrepreneurs who were trying to still do that during the pandemic. So now we put together our platforms to begin interviewing these guys and see what it is they have to see what tips they have to give us entry-level entrepreneurs out here, about how to remain successful, how to become successful, living in your own light, living in your own, whatever you're trying to strive to, that's going to keep you happy in your own life. That's going to start with knowing yourself, which is why I thought I would do this blooper real quick. This blooper I'm about to say, y'all, like, I literally interviewed, I'm not going to say her name, because what I'm finna do is make sure that this interview comes to YouTube next time. We did a whole on StreamYard today, right? She is a powerful writer, speaker, and content creator. So y'all really would have been looking at that tonight on the channel. But we sat there and invested an hour of our time doing an interview, and somehow I lost the video. When I tell y'all I had to take like 30 minutes to an hour just to because it was our time. But that's what comes with entrepreneurship sometimes. Are you just going to give up because that one interview got lost in the files and you can't find it? No, I built up the courage to call and say, look, this is what happened. She laughed, I laughed, but I really wasn't ready to laugh yet. I said, I'm so sorry this happened, because I was ready to, go ahead and promote your work on the show today. But she said, you know what? Let's reschedule it. It sounds little, don't it? But I'm telling y'all, I could have gave up. Like, that's how I was feeling. Like, look at all this hard work I put into what I do, and stuff like this happens. Like, I just lost a video. I'm still becoming familiar with StreamYard, but I bring it up to tell y'all and encourage you guys to subscribe to the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. We're publishing and marketing meet. Y'all see it on the shirt here. Also, these shirts are going to be available, especially you guys that come on and support the podcast show for promotion. I'm most definitely going to be asking you to invest in a t-shirt. That way, when you're out at the car wash this summer, at the beach, at the grocery store, I do have them in gray and black right now. Pretty much in sizes from small to extra large. I think we got extra large. I'm sorry. But how this works, you should be wearing one of the Crown Publishing Content t-shirts, and somebody asks you, who is that? Like, what is that you have on? Do you work for them? You're going to say, no. This young lady is out here promoting entrepreneurs and authors. Contact her. Yeah, because her following is growing. She's keeping the power of business networking alive, and that's how that's going to go. These t-shirts are also available when it comes to purchasing information, guys. Visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. You can find out more information about our new foundation nonprofit, where we're going to be helping homeschool parents, homeschool students, online students of any sort going into 2023, but we have launched a nonprofit in 2022. My website is where you're going to find more information about that. Summer reading challenges we're having for the kids. Writing contests we're having for the kids. But if you saw the title of this video, it was not about anything I just went over. I just kind of went over this the first 8 minutes for those newcomers on my channel who may be just getting familiar with me. I do have like 125 videos. But those 125 videos in my eyes were just like an introduction, a small introduction way into what we're about to be doing. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because just like that the young lady I was interviewing earlier, though that live stream did not go how we wanted it to go, we had some technical difficulties. She is going to be back. We are going to start interviewing our entrepreneurs and authors right here on the YouTube channel, so you don't want to miss this. I'm encouraging you guys, before they even get on here, my 55 subscribers, make sure you're subscribing to the people that we interview right here on the channel, okay? So if you saw the title of this video, it went a little something like how to get started on your book. Just like some tips and encouragement and inspiration for somebody that might be thinking about writing a book, okay? Because, I mean, this is where publishing and marketing meet. We got the publishing side down. And in case you didn't know, on that same website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, we offer publication services. What is a publication service? Just a service or two you might need. Like, we're not a whole publishing house. We're not looking for rights or ownership to your work. We're just trying to help you bring that book alive. So that goes for ghostwriting, formatting, getting that book beautified to go on those ebook platforms, right? Helping you with that book cover, helping you with that book title, and even chapter titles if that's what you need, okay? Line editing and proofreading. We offer these services, so you want to subscribe to this channel, because not only are we providing these services for authors out here and entrepreneurs with small businesses, we're coming on here giving tips and things that writers can use, okay? So how to get started on writing that book. Let's talk about the beginning stages of what preparing to write a book might look like. The other day, I think we did do a segment on preparing that story outline. I'm glad I already covered that. Go back and look at that video if you're new to my channel. And then come back and look at this one, because this one is called How to Prepare to Write a Book, right? Things you want to have in place, in order, before you even start writing. It's just going to help your journey be a lot more fluent, easier, right? Just help you cross a lot of, X out a lot of roadblocks, X out a lot of brain fart, and what do they call it, y'all? Writer's block. You don't have to go through that. But us writers, us experienced writers, are trying to tell you what to do so you don't have to go through what we went through, especially if you're self-publishing. Let's talk about number one on my list, coming up with the vision. Do you come up with a vision, or do you just vision a vision? But I think you know what I mean. Coming up with the very book idea that you want to write about is going to be probably the first tip of advice that I would give somebody trying to dive into writing their first book, okay? That idea is pretty much going to be the seed. Y'all know how you plant a seed and something is potentially supposed to grow from that seed? Pretty much your book idea, or which is then going to lead to that book outline I was talking about the other day, how to prepare your outline, and why preparing an outline is going to be significant, save you a lot of time before you even dive into writing that manuscript. It's going to be almost like the seed to your whole book, because you just had an idea. But an idea is an idea. So what is number two I got here? Now you're going to need to research your idea. Has anybody ever wrote a book on this topic before? If they did, how is your book about to compare? Because it's not illegal to write about something. It's a million books out here just about Whitney Houston alone, y'all. Or the life about Michael Jackson, right? Or how to tie your shoe. It's a million children's book that's trying to teach children the concept of cleaning their room and brushing their teeth. So there's nothing wrong with you having an idea similar to another author who's already published something. But my question is, and what you're going to have to think to yourself, has it been done before? And if so, how is your book idea about to differ from something somebody else did, right? Boom. Then you want to think about during your research phase of that idea, who your target audience for your specific genre is going to be, okay? So boom, just researching those other authors who probably wrote books on the same idea that you had is going to lead you to the answer to that question. Who did they market the book to? See, Amazon, at the Amazon bookstore, y'all, that's just a platform. For those who don't know what authors are going through, that's just a platform. But if you don't know the audience on that platform that you're targeting to, a book signing is a book signing. Who are you inviting to come and check out your book and listen to your story about why you wrote the book at that book signing? So yes, your target audience, you knowing that before you even get started is just another motivation for you to finish that book. You know who you're going to be targeting that book to. And then, really, you're never going to be able to avoid critics. Do not worry about that. It's too early in your authorship journey when you're just trying to get started writing that book about who your critics are going to be. I wouldn't care if it's the most positive book on the planet. Every book has a critic. I'll tell you that right now. Just like every film does. Okay? Every play does. Every music album has a critic. So when you step in the world of authorship, you're going to have critics. Go ahead and accept that when you begin to research your idea for your book that you're going to begin working on. Also, during that research period is going to be a good time for you to research things like the settings that you're going to include in your book, the settings and the plots, the time era, and the social life of the people that are going to be involved in this book. Does the social life that you're going to be kind of matching up with the characters even add up to the time era and the setting that you were saying this book is taking place? Because if it doesn't, you're going to throw your readers off. We're just trying to save you time here, right? We're trying to help you construct that book before you even call me for a book publication services consultation. Boom. I'm also going to leave that consultation link in the comment section, because this could look like just book publishing coaching. You just want me to hold your hand along the way while you get through that process, because you might not want to be a self-publisher. You might finish that book and want to submit that story to a big publishing house. If that is the case, we do have, I'm not a literary agent, but I do offer publication services coaching and publication services, okay? So boom. Remember that this could be a good, we're off of research now, but this is something I would just advise, or another tip. Like, before you even write the book, go ahead and draft the cover, right? It don't even have to be the cover that you're going to work with. We got apps out here now, y'all, that will practically let you self-make a book cover, right? So if you know what you're doing, that's why that coaching is available that I just mentioned. You don't know how to go draft a pre-trial book cover just so you can get reviews, just so you can kind of get feedback. You can get on Facebook, TikTok, and say, hey, y'all, if I did a book like this, would y'all mess with it? Would you think that this is something good to write about in this time era? Would you buy it? You can go ahead and ask direct questions. That's going to help you also put into perspective who your target audience might be. You share a specific type of book cover and you notice mostly women between the ages of 15 and 26 are commenting on that pre-trial cover, then you already kind of got a feel point of who's going to be buying that book, right? Now, we talked about the characters when I did my segment the other day on how to prepare your story outline, because your characters are going to be so essential that I got to bring characters up again. Maybe thinking about how many characters are going to be in your book, how to make them realistic, and researching how to bring those characters more to life, or getting somebody like Crown Content Publications on your team so we can do our coaching consultations and you and I can talk about something like that as you prepare to write that book. Making your characters as realistic as possible. What are their background stories? What are their hobbies? What are their faults? In everyday life and waking life that we live in, as real people, we definitely have faults. We have challenges. We have roadblocks. We have unexpected events happen in our life. We have positivities. We have, up times, if you want to call them that. So you want to make your characters kind of, come to life just as such, okay? Then you want to get to know your characters and evaluate them. They are important to your plot, okay? So just like in life, y'all say you study people, or you can kind of read somebody's energy before you even get, 2 sentences into the conversation. It should also be that same type of connection with your characters, okay? Like, you're bringing them to life. Y'all know what? Writing a book is kind of like getting out of your body. And every time you take time out of your day to write a book, you're literally like leaving your life to get more into character with this life that you're trying to write about. Even if it's about your own life, taking yourself back to a time that you're trying to write about and really getting into character. How did you feel? What did you smell? Which was going to be my next tip of advice. Being able to visualize the environment that you are bringing out in your book. Because once you visualize it, it's going to be healthier, and it helps you to write about the environment that you were in, or the environment that this character is in. When this character goes to work, this is the environment. When this character makes it home, he smells coffee. He smells the he might have left his coffee pot at home. He smells the Glade sprays that he got all over the wall, the lavender. He smells the dragon fruit plant that he has in his living room. Like, what is he smelling? What is he seeing when he pulls up in his garage? You want to be able to visualize the environment of each and every character that you're going to want to include in your book. Once again, every book is different. So let's say it's not a character-based book. It's more about you talking about a topic. You still want to kind of visualize the environment, kind of strategize and plan for who your target audience is going to be. Of course, if it's a medical book, you know who you're targeting that book to. If it's an educational type book, textbook, workbook, or something like that, which we will have available soon for you homeschool parents out there. It's not that it's not enough books in the world already, but you can always add another tool for one child or two to add to their curriculum as they learn a certain topic, right? So it's still going to help you either way, regardless of what type of book you're writing, to be able to visualize the environment that you are coming from, or that these characters, or that the person that's writing the book is coming from, right? Research sentences too, but that's more for, go check out my my other video titled "How to Prepare a Story Outline or Brainstorm Rough Draft Before You Even Get Into Seriously Writing That Book." Research that type of stuff. So I didn't mean to say sentences, which is important too. Researching sentence structure. Researching, that every paragraph doesn't have to be the same length. Researching, what I was trying to bring out, senses. Y'all know how they say we got 5 senses. What is it? 5 or 6 senses. Taste, smell, hear, see, right? Research senses when you are writing about characters and the different methods of writing techniques to describe those senses. So we know that Jenny ate a burger, but what was on the burger? What did she feel when she took that first bite? What did her taste buds do? What was it like for her to swallow it? Did she take a sip after she drank it? We love these details as readers, and if you're a reader out there, I know you agree, we love detail, right? Otherwise, what is it really that we're reading? Oh, that may or may not help an author that may be tuning in, an entry-level author, but I advise it. Go ahead and research. You'll be amazed at what you find when it comes to researching sentence structures, which person you should talk in, first, second, third person, and techniques to describe your metaphors, your synonyms, and things like this. It'll turn an average book into something totally different. Just take my word, okay? Then let's talk about your writing method. Like, before you even start writing that book, how do you want to write your book? Do you want to use journal and paper? Some of us are still visual learners. Like, we got to do everything tangibly. We got to literally write, and I started like that. So that was cool. People was telling me even then, there's other ways. Like, you can sit there and type it. It was something different about me writing it with pen and paper and then turning around and typing it later or whatever, or paying somebody to type it. But as far as getting those ideas out, I just had to use a pen and paper. But that doesn't have to be you. Are you going to use text-to-speech, which is another form of technology that's available to us now, where you just sitting there and you speak in the book? You got to have a real skill even for that now. For those of you that never used it, I'm just telling you what my experience was like. I learned that text-to-speech only helps me, like, let's say I'm at the grocery store and a book idea, not just a book idea, but a certain chapter I've been stuck on, or a way I was going to present this chapter, or a way I was going to bring out a certain topic in this chapter I was stuck on, right? But now I'm on aisle 8 in the grocery store and it done came to me. So boom, I can pull out my phone and go to my text-to-speech app and say boom, 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 boom. I would say it then because I might not have a pen and paper with me in the middle of grocery shopping. And that was a way I was able to, and to this day, still able to keep up with ideas that try to think. Tell yourself at work, you're going to write that idea down when you get home. If you're like me, you forgot all about the idea because work took an hour of traffic just to get home, 5 o'clock traffic. Then when I got here, my mind was focused on taking a shower, eating, going to sleep, catching the news. So I done forgot about the idea. But you can really text-to-speech a whole book. That might work better for you. Like, I just want to speak out my whole ideas. I want to text-to-speech my characters and how I'm finna set it up. Boom, boom, boom. Some people old-fashioned typing, whether it's a typewriter, laptop computer, whatever, desktop computer, typing is going to be the best method. But once you find the best method for you, and then one book, you might find yourself typing it. The next you say, no, this is poetry, so I want to write it with pen and paper. The next book, you're like, no, I want to use text-to-speech, right? I just gave 3 examples. And this is why I'm telling you to go research, because there's going to be different methods available to us now as new age authors to get this book out. Boom, don't forget about that. Writing space is something else you're going to plan. What are you doing? Mondays and Wednesdays you're going to Starbucks, the coffee house. The coffee house is one of my favorite. You know why? Because it's coffee there. I start to get tired, bored on what I'm writing, a blog, an article. I can go right to the cashier and get me another cup of coffee, a latte, or whatever, a frappuccino, whatever it is I need, right? Not only that, when you're in an environment like that, you 9 times out of 10 are going to end up connecting with another writer, right? Or another author, or somebody in the world of entrepreneurship who can give you some tips about how to write an article, or how to twig your website or resume to your liking to get the type of reactions that you are looking for, to get the type of effect that you are looking for. Boom. So a coffee house is not going to be for everybody. I told y'all that was one of my favorites. But then I found out I could just go buy me an espresso machine, buy me a nice coffee machine, set it on my counter. Now I got coffee at my access. So do I really need to go to a coffee house? Sometimes it's just that environment. That's what I'm telling y'all. Go ahead and plan for where you're going to work on this book at every day, because it does save you a lot of time. Now, like I said, Monday and Wednesday you might say I want to go to the coffee house. Thursdays and Saturdays you might want to work from your office, because you got to put in overtime on them 2 days, right? So you're like, boom, I'm going to just bring my hard drive, my flash drive, put it in my computer, and work on my book while I'm at work these 2 days. Boom. Just trying to help you guys keep some consistency going, efficiency going, so you can bring that book out, because you might not want to pay a ghostwriter. But like I mentioned, Crown Content Publications does offer those type of publication services. A library is always going to be a good environment, because outside of the coffee machine, you got everything you need. You got the printer, you got sometimes they got a fax machine in there, depending on what city you're in. You got access to more when it comes to just trying to bring a book alive and researching that, because everybody may not have that equipment at home to do what they're trying to do down the Wi-Fi. Okay, so a library is going to be another good idea. Just research what's going to be the best place for you. It might be a park sitting next to some ducks. It might be in your car. Though your house is right there, you're parked outside in the parking lot or in the driveway. For some reason, some people write better than in their cars. That's okay. Whatever that personal writing space where you got peace and quiet, you can focus on your ideas, on the symbolism that you're trying to bring out, on the metaphors that you're trying to bring out. That's going to be the space for you. And then last on my list was a home office. Like, I have a home office, guys, but that don't mean that, like, my kids are not here all the time. So am I still focused? Where is my home office? Is it in my room? Is it in a little office study? Because some of us, y'all, we don't have no extra bedroom to put an office in. I totally understand, right? Many nights I'm right here in the closet or wherever, right? Because this is my working space sometimes. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I do prefer to write in the bathroom. That's my closed off space from the kids. So we understand, regardless of what type of author you are or where you're coming from, bringing that book alive is 100% possible, and I'm here to inspire you today. Go ahead and plan the tools that you're going to need for that book. It might be a thesaurus, a dictionary, articles, and helpful links, right? Start with a hook paragraph. Now I'm going to finish with this, like talking about the first 3 paragraphs. The first 3 chapters. The first 3 paragraphs is crazy, but I'm sure I could bring a topic out of that too. But the first 3 chapters, right? Because all 3 chapters might be about something different, but you still want it to be in a positive, concise order. Like, you don't want what you really should have said in chapter 3 and chapter 1, and then vice versa. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that first chapter might look like, and starting with that first chapter for a little inspiration for you writers out there, right? It doesn't hurt to start with a hook paragraph. Maybe this is what I mean. In your first 4 sentences, not only did you start off with a powerful quote, like a well-known quote, now that first paragraph is all about that quote, why you see that quote is significant, and what you're about to write, how that quote has helped many others that you've talked to. Like, that's just an example. Or a surprise fact or memory that you want to include. Even if it's a historical memory, right? Like, you including that in the first paragraph of the first chapter will give you so much inspiration on finishing that whole chapter. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe a provoking question, invoking question, a question that's been asked for centuries. You know what I'm saying? Something like that is going to get the attention of the reader in the first chapter of that book. So that was just some inspiration there. And then when you start writing those first 3 chapters, go ahead and time yourself. How long did it take you to write those first 3 chapters? For some, 3 hours. For others, 3 weeks. Either way, time yourself, because this will kind of give you insight on how long it might take you to finish that book. I know many authors who promote and market that book long before they're even through with it. But as an independent author, it's going to be your choice of how you choose to do things. Some don't like to do that because they don't like to market and promote something. I went through that too, and it ends up taking them much longer. Right, that's probably why I brought that up. I don't want y'all to go through that. Just because we're independent authors doesn't mean you got to be less professional than a publicized author, right? A contracted author, something like that. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, if you time yourself in those first 3 chapters, regardless of what it is you're working on, or if it's an article, go ahead and time yourself with the first 3 paragraphs. How long did it take you to finish it? Because it's just going to give you an insight of how long it might take you to finish that complete article, right? Especially if you work at the same time limit on a schedule basis type of thing. Now you just gave yourself a time frame of when you might be able to have that book finished. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel where publishing and marketing meet. And until next time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like my video if you like the tips and advice I'm giving for writers out here. Show me by hitting the like video. I see I'm getting views, but y'all are not liking the video. So do me justice. I'm new to the YouTube family this year, but Crown Content Publications has been around since 2019. We just thought that we would bring our presence out more on social media platforms like YouTube, so you guys know that we're out here. Okay, thank you. That website again, if you're interested in ordering a t-shirt or becoming a guest on our podcast show to promote your work or book in 2022, make sure you visit my website. I'm going to be sharing links though as far as reserving a slot for the show or booking a consultation for publication services. I'm going to be sharing those links. Thank you guys for your support.